For today's Magical Monday, I want to talk to you about Maud Gonne, an activist in the Irish cause for independence. Now, she was born in 1866 and died in 1953 and was actually English by ancestry, but took upon herself the cause of fighting for Ireland's total independence from England. She is most well known as being the muse of William Butler Yeats. He pursued her and asked for her hand in marriage for decades, until he eventually married Georgie Hyde-Lees late in life. But Maud Gonne was a very interesting person in her own right and something of an author as well. She only wrote one play, and it's far more political than magical, but it does have some of the Irish folk magic traditions infused into it. Now, Maud Gonne had an interesting and tempestuous life. When she was rather young, she went over to France and had a French lover there who was also interested in French politics, and he may have helped inspire her commitment to Irish politics. They had a young son who unfortunately died as a child of tuberculosis, and they later engaged in a magical ritual to try to get his soul to reincarnate in a second child. She was rather briefly a member of the Order of the Golden Dawn with William Butler Yeats, but was passionately involved in it for that time, and actually tried to help him create another magical order that would be much more Celtic and less English in nature. And she and Yeats apparently shared some form of telepathy and shared dreaming and experienced a spiritual marriage on the astral plane together. Although later in life she seems to have left those magical pursuits behind and been far more practical and outwardly focused in her activism. She married the notorious Irish Republican activist John McBride, and he was one of those infamously shot by the British. Now, John McBride's death and Maud's marriage to him put William Butler Yeats in a difficult position because McBride was not an admirable private person. He was an alcoholic, and he abused and mistreated Maud, the woman whom Yeats adored. But then he was a hero and a political martyr, so Yeats was put in the difficult position of having to write a poem to praise McBride's political prowess and martyrdom, while yet deploring his personal life. So all this to say that Maud Gonne was a fascinating person who was deeply involved in magic in her life and a little bit in her writing, and is an important figure to consider in the magical modern occult